My group chats were blowing up. Everybody is saying this is elder abuse, but I don't know how abused you could be from the potential 20 mil payout for Mike Tyson. Beautiful day outside. Welcome back to the show.
Beautiful, beautiful day.
I want to start off saying I appreciate everybody who's interacting with the show, good, bad, or indifferent. Doesn't bother me one bit. Please,
Hey,
please get in there. Tell us how you feel. The obligatory support us. We don't have cash apps and things like that. Although, if you want to support, we'll drop that shit. But we're just asking you right now just to like, subscribe, and comment and engage. Let's just grow this community a little bit.
it's all free.
It's all free.
It's all free.
Free 90. As you can see, beautiful day in sunny Southern California.
Hey,
You know what I mean? Everybody's going outside. It's actually cold. California cold. If you're fucking in Minnesota right now, I don't want to play the cold Olympics.
it's obviously colder over there.
Exactly, okay, but it's California cold.
Yeah.
Starting to bundle up a little bit out here.
Yeah, put an extra layer on real quick. You know what I'm saying?
So, yes, it's shorts weather for you in Baltimore, but you know what I mean. For us, it's a little chilly. Gotta grab a windbreaker. So,
There you go. There you go.
how was your week, Nene?
My week was a back to busy work week is what it was.
Mm,
I was over here working like a dog, man. That shit
yeah.
was that shit was ass.
Hey, this is America.
Cream get the money, dollar bill, y'all. That's how I felt. That's how I felt this week.
Everything around me.
Cash rules everything around me. Unfortunately, I had to
It
get
is.
that. I had to get that bread, as they say. But you
It's
know
what
what? It is what it is. Um, I mean, it makes the week go by quicker. I guess led into the weekend. The weekend's been cool so far. Um, you know, had
the
a had
Odyssey
a
weekend or like the weekend.
no. The weekend, the actual weekend. All right. We're not talking about the weekend right now. All right. I'm talking about Abel. All
Hey,
right. What's
all
up with
right.
Canadians just having? Never mind.
Having
That's a different. That's a
yeah,
different story for a
that's a
different day.
and we're not and
Aubrey and Abel.
yeah, you know what? The weekend is on the right side of this battle, so we're going to leave him alone for
All right, fine. Okay. All
a
right. Oh man. Well,
little.
all in all, good spirits. Good spirits. What about you? How's the week? How was the week?
It was a good week. It was a good week. Weekends kind of fly by, and I don't like that. We're approaching the end of Scorpio season. I don't like that. But it's here, and it's leaving soon. So hopefully, all the Scorpios out there had good birthdays.
There you go.
Appreciate everybody's parents for fucking on Valentine's Day. We wouldn't be here without Valentine's Day. So you know, yeah, I had a good week. I did the worst into the week was watching Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fucking fight.
Ooh.
That was criminal, and I feel bad for tuning in. I feel bad that I mean, because it was just like, oh, just turn on Netflix. You probably got it on anyway, right? You're probably already on Netflix. You may as well just have it on.
Yeah.
And the undercard fights, like the fight right before the Tyson and Jake Paul came out, that was a fight. Them two ladies were like slugging it out. That was a boxing match. Blood and sweat and everything. Like that was a match. Really enjoyed that. And then Jake Paul comes out in some lime green fucking stretch something, right? To Air of the Night by Phil Collins. And it was, yeah, it was a really weird intro. And I was like, so this is the song that is going to hype everyone up for this fucking boxing match.
Oh, I'm sure it hyped up all the whites. I mean, that's their jam.
I
They love
mean,
the
it
intro
is,
to in there
but
and like,
I don't know. That's fair, but I don't know that they. Maybe they do. I don't know. I'm not white, so put in the comments if that would hype you up before a boxing match, white people.
but whoever's
But
drumming on that song had some soul. You know what I mean? Because
all that's
those
fine.
drums are legendary. Those drums are
It's,
legendary.
it
All right, we're
just,
not gonna act like those drums aren't legendary.
I'm gonna act like you should never play it before a boxing match, though. So like we don't have to debate the song and the greatness of the song and the musicality of the song. What I'm saying is, if you're playing it before a boxing match, it does not get me anywhere close to hype. In fact, it puts me to fucking sleep. Um, and if white people are hype, hey, get hyped by what you get hyped by. That's not my. I'm just saying.
That's what it was for. You know what I mean? We out here acting like uh, you know, Jake Paul and them ain't catering to the whites now that they feel like they're on top.
Fair enough.
You know what I
So
mean?
yeah,
Ohio's on top. Oh.
whatever. Yeah, okay. Good for Ohio.
Yeah, I'm just calling it how I sees it is what it is, man. That's all you know. That's what I
Good for
see.
Ohio.
Yeah, I guess.
So his entrance was boring to me. Is my point.
Yeah.
Um, and then Mike Tyson came out to I don't know what song. I could barely hear it. He just kind of walked out there really quick by himself with his entourage or with the team behind him. Not his entourage, the cut man and all those people behind him.
There you go.
And he looked really good. And I looked at your sister and I said, he's got like 3 rounds max in him,
Hmm.
right? And I'm just hoping to see some good boxing for a good 2 rounds, 2.5 rounds, and then this is gonna get ugly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. And he had a good round where you're like, oh man, Iron Mike looks all right out there. And then the second round, you're like, okay. And it was just like Roy Jones being like, I don't like his legs. Uh, I don't like his legs. It's like, all right, thanks, Roy. But you're the kind of the play-by-play now, so we got to just
I don't like his legs.
yeah. It's like, so I don't know if that's a pause situation or not, but you know what I mean. It's just
Nah, that's real. That's
he's 50
real right there.
years old. He's 58 years old, and he had wobbly legs, like it
Mm-mm.
And by the end of the fight, Mike looked every bit of 58 years old. Like it looked like the jokes online were writing themselves. My group chats were blowing up. Everybody is saying this is elder abuse, but I don't know how abused you be from the potential 20 mil payout for Mike Tyson and whatever the extra payout is going to be for Jake Paul
Right.
on this. So they both made a lot of cash, and it was the most despicable display of boxing I have ever seen. Um, like I think some of the other celebrity fights Jake Paul has had was way better than this.
Really?
Oh my god, this was bad. Jake Paul was clearly pulling the punches because he didn't want to like just fucking knock Mike the fuck out, which he clearly could have done because he had opportunity. He was faster. He was landing punches, but
Hmm.
this was clearly like I'm not about to knock Mike Tyson out. Like this is not what's
Right.
gonna happen.
Right.
And that's what was despicable about it because I'm like, well, shit, his ass got in the ring, fucking lay him out. Like that's what you know what I mean? He's got 20 M's coming after this. So what about his concussions and CTE? Who fucking cares? Like pay him the money.
Well, he's in the ring. You know what I mean?
He's in the ring. Fight
Uh,
him. So it was bad. Good for you for being too busy to watch.
man.
Like, good for you. That's
I
how.
was too busy. I was. It
So,
just. Oh man. Oh, despicable. Just
ugh.
absolutely despicable.
Yeah, it was despicable, bro.
Oh my god.
I was thoroughly disgusted. So that was the end of my week.
There you go.
Um, I
That was
will say
Friday, right? That was
that was
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
We are doing this on Sunday, by the way, ladies and gents. So I did not, just to spin back, I did not get the opportunity to listen to R. Kelly. I'm a little disappointed because I didn't want to listen to that. I was super hype on Thursday about that album. But I did not listen to it. I prioritized other listening.
Oh, so you didn't get to hear Ty Dolla and R.
I
Kelly
didn't
together?
Ty Dolla and Janae and R. Kelly together. I didn't get to hear.
That was crazy.
Janae, keep the family safe, man. You got to be careful out here.
I
You know,
know. What the hell are you doing out there? You know?
so you can't be doing
God,
something like that with R. Kelly. Come on, man.
can't be risking it all for
You
R.
can't
Kelly.
be
Come on.
for R. Kelly fucking feature.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, dude, it was overall a good week.
Nice.
Good
Nice.
week. Good week.
All things considered, good
All
week.
things all things considered, it was a good week.
Oh,
And we did get, I think, some good drops this week.
we got some
So
solid ones.
I'm gonna lean into the best thing I heard
All right, let's go.
this week. So I Rauw Alejandro dropped a project called Cosa Nuestra.
Okay.
Um, Déjeme entrar is the I really like that song on there on that track, and
Yeah.
I wanted to like this album was on its way to be the best thing I heard. Like all the way through the album was.
Okay.
Um 5 songs in, I'm like vibing. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm really enjoying what he's put together.
Right.
And then he did the old, he switched hard to, a traditional sounding reggaeton, as opposed to the more kind of synthy, you know what I mean? Poppy version of reggaeton that's
Yeah.
popular right now. So
Yeah.
the first part of the album was very kind of traditional salsa kind of songs.
Okay.
And he had some of that like tiny style production reggaeton. At the beginning, he even got a track from Pharrell, which was very salsa style, and that was really
Okay.
good. I was enjoying that. And then he kind of switches and he goes back to that traditional reggaeton that kind of was like really like hard, and it's a mood changer for sure based
Yeah.
on what was happening at the beginning of that album. And I don't enjoy that. You know how I don't like that. And then he had like a trap beat on there, and then it fell to the Childish Gambino release that I didn't enjoy because I was like, "There's too many sounds. I don't. What the fuck are you
I see.
doing right
I
now? Like,
see.
what is happening?" And then he went back to the softer reggaeton, and then it was just like kind of back and forth, and he didn't really get the salsa um, feel vibe that he had going on at the beginning. So I say all that to say the best thing I heard was that track. But the album itself was really disappointing because I was like, damn, 5 songs in, I wouldn't skip any of these motherfuckers, right? And then
Yeah.
I was skimming. Then I was like, okay, I'm not enjoying this. Then I was listening for it, and I was like, I'm not enjoying it. So then I skimmed it because I was just like, okay, you just ruined the vibe I had going.
Yeah. Like, let me just get through this, please.
Just get
You
through
know.
this listen, and then I got through it, and then I gave it a second listen, like maybe this stuff will grow on me. And I was like, nope, not growing on me. Then I gave it a third listen with your sister, and she
Really.
was skipping the same songs that I was skipping. She was like, I am not enjoying it. I was like, okay,
Mm,
not me,
really.
not me. But I would give the first 5 tracks of Cosa Nuestra a run
Okay.
on the Rauw Alejandro joint. You might also find that you like a few other things on there. He's got some good tracks, and towards the end, it feels like it's trying to get back to I think what was happening.
Okay.
But again, this is just you had a concept to me, um, and then you strayed from the concept. I feel like, and you
Yeah.
put more popular songs that kind of maybe would get like a commercial appeal,
Okay.
but you went away from what you were doing,
Hmm.
right? And so it kind of got weird. Nime Conozco is also a good one on there. Like, there's some good stuff on there.
Yeah.
Um, so the first 5 tracks of the album is the best thing I've heard this week. And then pick and choose your battles on that album. That's that's
Oh, no. Oh man.
that I was like, oh man, I'm sitting at work. I'm just like, oh, I'm enjoying this. Somebody called me, just declined it because I didn't want to deal with that. Like, you're not fucking up my vibe. You know what I mean? Like, so with your bullshit. And then I called him back after the 5th song, and I was like, all right, vibes are. I'll call you back. So what you that's what that
All right,
album.
all right. I guess I can call now.
Yeah, exactly. So check out Rauw. Interested to hear what the people think about this project, because I feel like I don't like albums that give me too many different sounds. If it's a trap album, then it's a trap album. I respect it, and I'll like it or not like it, whatever it is. But I respect that it is one style of music. If you give me an album that's like all the styles of music, a little poppy, a little reggaeton, a little trap, a little, salsa, a little, like, I'm like, I don't know where I need to be for this album.
Right.
right? Like,
Where am I playing this album to
where
make
am I?
it fit?
Kali Uchis has done this to me, and I really enjoy her. But he did do something that I will say that I actually absolutely love, and at least I didn't notice that he did it on that. He hasn't done it on the album. He stopped like doing his fucking drops and shout outs at the end of songs, which fucking bothered me to no end because I'm like, I know whose album this is. Read the credits for the production. They probably had a drop at the beginning of this fucking song. Like, I don't need you to tell me and shouting out your crew to every fucking song on the album. You don't have to do this. So this feels like this album does feel like somebody got to him. And by somebody, I mean like a big, because this is a Sony Music release. So I
Okay.
think like Sony came and was like, all right, like we're gonna clean this up a little bit if we're gonna appeal to more people. Let's knock
Yeah.
that shit in the fucking song. Okay, we don't need another 15 minutes you telling us all about yourself. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
for that, it's worth a listen.
For that, for those five.
For those five,
Oh man.
whatever songs you pick out of the rest, because 18 tracks. So
Yeah.
whatever you pick out of the other 13 tracks,
Yeah.
if he had made an 11 track album, this and it was the right 11 tracks out of these 18, I'm like, this is one of the best things I've heard all year.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So it was that much of a victim of just too much going on, too many
Right.
different songs, too widespread.
Too
Right.
many people.
I see.
Didn't you learn from the Democrats? You can't please everybody. You gotta pick a platform. You gotta run with it. That's what
Hey,
America's vibing with right now.
there you go.
So
Come on, man. What are we doing?
before you shit on my takes, just recognize majority of America is chosen. We want one platform. God damn it. I'm not letting it go. Go on. All right.
I could tell.
What's the best thing you've heard?
Oh man. All right. Well, all right. Switching it up on me. You gave me some reggaeton.
Reggaeton.
Reggaeton. All right. All right. Well, I lived with the Cordae album.
Okay.
All right. Meet me at the Crossroads, baby. Let's go.
I did enjoy that intro.
I was like, hey, you gotta come on. Everyone's thinking it. Just do it. Right.
Yeah,
So hey.
I did enjoy that.
So I'm glad you leaned into that to be able to just get out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's get out of the way.
Yeah, let's and we don't have to talk about it for the rest of the.
There you go. All right. Thank you. You acknowledged it. You're aware. Okay, let's keep going. Right. So that's what we got in the intro. And I really I gave this album a chance. I had time to be able to live with it between Thursday and today, which again isn't a lot of time. And I will keep saying it every week until it starts to happen at a higher clip.
Tuesday, please.
Drop your album on Tuesday, please. Please. I really want everyone to just copy Tyler and just do it. Just please drop at the beginning of the week. Let us live with it. Let us have the highs and the lows of the week and just, plug and play. All right. Your music's going to do better that way.
I'm 100% on board with this.
Maybe Rauw Alejandro's fucking album would have done a lot better if you would have heard it throughout the week and been like, you know what? That one song, I kind of skipped through it, but it seems like it would fit for this vibe right now. I got to go on a run or something. I don't know. I'm just saying, you got more opportunity. It just makes sense.
Yep.
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. All right. But the best thing I heard was this because I lived with it for so long and I had specific songs that I wanted to really highlight. Just that I felt were the best things I heard this week. Right. So I'm gonna start off with that '06 Dreamin', that I guess that first song on the actual album.
About his mom.
About his mom. I listened to an interview right after I heard the album. He's mentioned that he sampled his mom's song. So that the sample is his mom. So it's kind of a cool full circle effect that he kind of had with that song while he was also doing it with the content of the song, right? Kind of making everything feel full circle, kind of his mom's kind of trials and tribulations with trying to make it in music and then him ultimately being able to.
Who is his mom?
I don't know. I didn't get that deep into it in
I'm
terms
about to.
of trying
Hold
to
on.
figure out. I don't know. Go ahead and give me a search while we talking
Yeah, go for
while
it.
we talking. But you know, I love that flip. I love being able to do that. I love when you're able to just expand on a song that much. You know, because that's what music's supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to tell that much of a story through the actual music itself to what you're saying on the song and everything in between. Right? That's the beauty of rap and hip hop, what you can do when you're doing it at the highest level. So I really appreciated that from that song. I'm a sucker for those kind of things. So it really was it was a cool thing to be able to hear. It was a cool thing to be able to hear and to be able to establish kind of what we were gonna feel and hear throughout the rest of the album. I'm big on intros. You know, I'm big on making sure you set the table correctly, and I think he did that with this intro.
Okay. I do like the I do like I like the beginning of this. This isn't a bad project, so I just I wasn't as into it as I don't know what to expect. I'm having a hard time putting my words together about this album because
Yeah.
there was something I was vibing with, and there was something I was not vibing with, and I can't put my finger on that.
Hmm.
Like I was like listening to it, I'm like okay, and I got like through a good chunk of this album before
Yeah.
I started listening to other stuff, and I can tell you how far I got because I remember there were two Lil Wayne features, so I think I got through song 12,
Okay.
maybe song 13. So I'm damn near through
Hmm.
the album.
Right.
Um and the Lil Wayne features were fine. There was something Kanye West, and I know he's got a song on there with Kanye West.
Yeah.
But there was something Kanye West about his delivery
Mm.
across some of the songs. Lyrically, I was in, the content, like you said, I was enjoying it. I was enjoying the concept, understanding that this feels like he has gone through something and
Yeah.
trying to put it out in his music, and he's got some
Yeah.
feelings and emotions to express. So I respect it because this feels like a more vulnerable project.
No, definitely. Super
Um,
vulnerable.
so I respect it. I really do. I'm just trying to figure out um and I'm actually, as I'm talking, I'm thinking about this, and I'm saying this for the haters. No, I cannot just sit back and enjoy the project. I have to have to process and understand my feelings.
Yeah.
um
It's part of the gig. You know, it's part of the
part of
gig. I don't know
the
if everyone saw last episode. The gig is the gig. All right.
process.
So
Yes.
for better and for worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I go through my process, and music is an emotional thing for me, and when
Yeah.
I hear music, I don't just feel like, I feel other things as well.
Right.
um so yeah, that I have to run through it again.
Yeah.
I have to give it a full listen, and then I have to run through it again, and I'll probably have a better assessment after I'm able to give it some time. But to your point earlier, drop it on Tuesday, and I probably will have a better emotional response to give, because I will have
Definitely.
a few more days to sit with it and live with it.
Right. And if the whole point is to invoke an emotional response to the music, because that's how music taps into you or how you tap into it, you know, I think that was his attempt here into kind of, pulling the curtain back a little bit, letting
Hmm.
people see in a little bit more of who he is, right? He's
Hmm.
still so young. So to be 3 albums in, or about that many projects in to your career and still be able to kind of really be establishing who am I, where do I come from, how does this
Hmm.
influence how I feel. Like he's doing that in life right now, so of course the music is going to reflect that. So I definitely went into it understanding that that was probably what he was feeling, and you kind of hear it, through the music. um, it's heavy on the soul sample, so it's always an easy listen for me in that sense, right? So I definitely appreciated that about this, and I think it made sense for the concept that he was applying on this album, right? If you're talking about your daughter, if you're talking about the full circle moment of yourself and your mom, you know, that relationship, and then reflecting it on your own experience now, you've had your daughter and dealing with your daughter's mother and stuff like that, and just being able to create this life and this go around with yourself that is an improved version of what you may have went through. Is kind of what I got from the album. So
Yeah, I agree. Um, and yeah, I like the samples. I think Lil Wayne dropped some good lines, some good punch lines, as Lil Wayne does. Like,
yeah,
it may feel like I hated on him when I was explaining that, corporations run the acts that get to the Super Bowl, and everybody was like, "Shut the fuck up," you know what I mean, and all the things they were saying. But Lil Wayne does deliver punchlines and stuff like that, and he's got good music out there. Kanye, I actually hear Kanye is getting back to soul sampling and not this fucking weird shit
hey,
he's.
hey,
So I don't know if that's true. We'll see what happens on this album that he drops.
oh,
But we
and where we
definitely,
can listen to it. I know,
yeah,
like,
exactly, yeah, because I ain't chasing it. That's for sure. So if you don't drop that shit where I can hear it, then it won't be heard. I'll tell you that much. So Vultures 3 never came out, by the way.
I'm
So
holding you to it. I'm letting you know, never
so
came out.
it never came out, and I did want to the I did want to finish it. Pause. So that way I can. So that way, I like, if you're gonna give me if it's supposed to be three things, I want to see it in its totality. Pause.
Right.
So that way I can. So that way I can live with what the project you were putting
At least you can. Yeah, I
out.
get you. I get
Yeah.
you.
So if you don't
Well,
drop Butcher's 3, fuck it. And Cordae, back to Cordae. I do like
yeah.
the soul sampling on here. I
Oh,
think,
yeah. It was the production itself. I would say I definitely appreciated it. It was something. He was giving something more, and the samples and just the sound of the music fit him. He didn't go in a direction that I felt like was a disservice to him. Right. I think he went in the right direction for himself. I think he gets a lot of comps to other, I guess, quote unquote, conscious rappers type, conscious rapper type beat. Is the best way you could say it. But he's carved out a lane for himself. I think, I think he's still doing that. To say that it's completely there on this album, at times I still feel like I hear a very young approach, and he's a young guy, so it's going to be a young approach, and some of those things are going to appeal more to a younger demographic than maybe other people, right? So I definitely heard that on some of those songs, to where it made it kind of like, it's not my favorite song on the album. I'm not gonna maybe run back to that as quickly as I'm probably gonna run back to that first Wayne sample feature. I really liked the Back on the Road. I think it was with Wayne. I like that one more than the other one that they were on together. I like that Juicy J feature. That song doing a little South Bounce type, type feel.
it's an
Having
interesting
Juicy
mix
J.
for me.
I just that's a sweet spot for me musically. So I'm always gonna appreciate a Juicy J feature. That's just
Yeah,
kind of
Juicy J's Memphis, right?
yes,
Yeah,
Memphis.
I know you're fucking with the Memphis sound.
Yeah, and I guess I always have. I don't know. I
I
don't know.
didn't mean that as you started fucking. I mean that
Yeah,
means you.
yeah, yeah. So you would understand how that connection would be there. But like, yeah, no. But um, also, just to touch back, like go back to Kanye, I would say that is the way to use Kanye on the song. If you're gonna use him on a song, that's the way to pepper him into the song.
Yeah,
To not let him ruin your song. Don't let him take over
Kanye's
your song.
he's a bit
Just
much.
just enough, He's like he's like wasabi, You just need a little bit.
Because
It'll ruin your whole day if you have too
it'll
much, right?
ruin your palate for sure.
Yeah,
Too much Kanye.
right. So that's the best comp I could give Kanye and say he's like wasabi. You put it in your soy sauce a little bit and dip the sushi in there just a little bit, just a couple drops on your sushi. That's called umami. Anything else, anything other than that is just trash.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that assessment.
There you go.
I am interested in what the Bully project ends up being.
Right.
Um, I I I can appreciate Kanye as well for trying to skirt the traditional distribution routes to get his music out there. I definitely
Yeah.
support that. I support Kanye doing it. I will not go and get your music though, Kanye, via those methods because you just haven't shown me that your music is worth doing that for.
Yeah, it's not worth jumping through all the hoops if it's
Yeah.
gonna be some trash. You know
Some
what I mean?
experimental, like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I get it, but then, I gotta come back because you've got this developing album shit you're doing,
yeah,
and then you're changing complete it, drop it on DSP so that way we can get some momentum to your preferred distribution method, right?
there we
Because
go.
I can tell you if Bully comes out not on DSPs, nobody will hear me giving any opinion on it because I have no desire to go chase this music down at all.
Oh
Um,
man.
so Cordae, where does Cordae's album rank amongst the rap albums you've heard this year?
Well, let me give it some trash bags first. How about that? And
Give
then
me
that
some
that
trash
might
bag.
we're gonna have to go back to the trash bags in a bit. So
Let's
I think this will
do
work.
it. I love trash bags. Let's go.
In living with it this week, mainly weekend, I would say that I am going to give it 1.5 trash bags.
All right, that's a fair trash
Uh, yeah, I
assessment.
think I'll give it 1.5. I like it a lot. I like a majority of the album. Like I favorited songs on the album, and it's a majority of them. There's
Um,
pockets in between, like segments of songs where I feel like you could have took this one out, and so my revision to the album probably would have been taking out 3 or 4 songs, and then I would have felt like you had a really great album.
Okay.
So that's why I'm giving it 1.5 or 1.5 trash bags.
Okay.
Um, where it fits with everything else. Obviously, I've mentioned some albums that were probably better than that, just on the grading scale. I might not break my top 10.
Okay.
I don't think it breaks my top 10 for sure. I think it's definitely outside of top 10. It didn't. It
Okay.
didn't move anything for me. It didn't shift anything for me. It wasn't a. It wasn't something where I had to review my list and say, "Well, now Soul Burger came out, so where am I putting this on my list?" It
Right.
wasn't that.
It
I
just
would say.
didn't make it.
Right. But that's not to say that it wasn't a great album, and I didn't feel like it was a great album for Cordae to get him back. I think after the last album, people felt maybe like, um, where did I put this guy?
I did
Do
not
I
like
really
the last
feel?
album by Cordae.
I
I
didn't. I
thought
didn't like it either. I didn't go back to it that
um,
much. I
I was
liked
like,
songs on the album. I didn't like the whole album. I didn't feel like it complemented his first album. Um, it really felt like it was kind of like a sophomore slump kind of deal. So for him to come back with this album, I think it puts him back into that space where people were putting him with his first album, where it was like he's someone to check for, and he can break through into a higher echelon of artists that we're looking at. He's still on the way, but I think he can do that.
yeah, I think he was. I think. Well, I listened to that second album and I was like, "You're better than this." And then, like, I did
Yeah,
not. I did not enjoy that. Listen.
yeah, yeah,
So okay, so Cordae doesn't break the top 10. That's cool.
yeah,
How are you feeling? Let's
yeah.
transition from that just off the dome. You're not prepared for this.
No,
What are your top albums this
my
year?
top
I'm not even going to make you pick a genre because that's going to be a little difficult. But what are you feeling like
off the dome.
off the dome?
All
Just
right,
listen. You've consumed music all year. What are you feeling like? Are the top five? Give me five.
I'm not gonna be a recency merchant,
All right.
but it is gonna be. I am gonna start with the recent project and just kind of go from there. I'm spitballing because this is off the dome, of course,
Right.
and also what I can remember. I might look back on this tomorrow and be like, "What the hell? I totally forgot about this album."
Okay.
But we'll take it. All
All of
right,
this is
all right. Let's go.
good.
So I'll put Soul Burger on there because I listened to it this week as well,
Okay.
and it's kind of like continuing to grow with me. And I
All
can
right.
imagine I'm going to continue to go back to this. So I'm going to put it on there.
Okay.
I'm going to put it on there for myself. So that's recency.
Soul Burger.
Soul Burger, of
I
course,
like it.
Schoolboy Q, Blue Lips. I mean, there's no way I'm not going to put that on there. Um,
John snubbed.
and people seem to agree. I mean, people like that clip. It felt like I think a lot of people agree that he got snubbed.
He got so snubbed so hard.
You know, I'll tell you who's not going to be on my list. Fucking Eminem. I'll tell you that much. Jesus Christ, get
Fair
that
enough.
shit out of here. Get that
So
shit out of here, bro.
so far we're two in, and you said Soul Burger and Blue Lips.
Soul Burger and Blue Lips. I'm trying to get the ones that we recently talked about out of my brain, so I can get
Okay.
some of the ones that are maybe more like.
So do you
Oh
want
yeah,
to
we
take Soul
forgot about
Burger
it.
out?
What's that?
You want to take Soul Burger out since that one's
No,
recent?
no, we'll keep it there. We'll keep it
Okay.
there. We'll keep
Okay.
it there. All right. Okay. I have to actually go back and live with this album a bit more because it actually came out recently, and we kind of didn't even mention it. A West Side Gun album came out a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago. Um, I want to say it's Still Praying by West Side Gun.
Hmm.
Big West Side Gun fan, big Griselda fan. Obviously, there's a lot of Griselda drops this year, as there is like every year. So it's kind of like sifting through. Like
Probably
I'm
why.
only gonna pick one kind of thing. I'm not gonna have five of my albums be Griselda type shit. You know, it's
Probably
like
why we didn't talk about it because there's so much.
but it was one that I was looking forward to. I like the way that they, rev up for a drop, just kind of what they're big into wrestling and shit like that. So it's just, it's cool. It's cool shit for me. You know what I mean? It serves me. It serves me.
All right.
Oh man. So I did have some hype going into that. And off the first few listens, I liked it a lot. I thought West Side Gun got back to kind of what I like him to do on an album. Because it feels sometimes like again, it's hit or miss. When you're doing it at a high clip, it's kind of like, okay, well, like, how much time did you spend on this one compared to the other one, right? And I think this one felt like I'm spending more time on it. It means a bit more. Uh, so I really liked it, and I just want to go back. But I'm gonna put it on there, placeholder, because I do think it's gonna stay on there after I review everything else.
Okay.
That means I'm not putting Benny the Butcher and others on this list.
We'll do honorable mention for that one. How's that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna put that Childish Gambino on there, dog. You already know what I'm gonna do.
Get the fuck
You
out of
already know what I'm gonna do.
here. Okay. Go
You
on.
already know what I'm gonna do.
List. Go on. Childish Gambino. Why
All
Childish
right.
Gambino? And this is
See,
for
like,
Bando and the Bandos or whatever the fuck that album was called.
Bando Stone in the New World, I think it
Oh,
was. Yeah,
all right.
yeah. That shit fire, bro. I still go back to a good chunk of that album. A
Okay.
good chunk of that album. That's just me. That's my preference.
All right.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? I always got to disclaim it. You
All
know?
right. Boo.
Oh man. Look, I said I wasn't gonna do too recent, but that Freddie Gibbs and Tyler, they both came out. They're still in rotation. And maybe you just gotta drop later in the year. I don't know. I mean, I got like 4 or 5 already on this list that are like from
That was
October and onward, right? And I really gotta shift. I really gotta shift.
yeah, and this was me like pressing you, like, you didn't even have time to prepare.
Yeah, no, I
Uh,
did it.
okay.
But you know what? I also have. We said we weren't gonna specify genre,
No
and
genres.
I have some albums in here that I think are gonna be worth talking about when we do our award show of this, right?
Okay.
That are gonna be cool to bring up. I'm gonna bring up a Low End Love Song by Pale J. It's an R&B type, soul type album. I may have mentioned it a long time ago
Okay.
when it first came out. It might have came out like in when did we start shooting?
Yeah. So we gotta go on this one. All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, how long? We've been doing this for a while. We've been doing this thing for a while. Episode
Hey,
21, baby.
21, episode
Uh,
21, baby.
with with episodes in the middle now too for a whole different
Exactly.
show.
We're growing. We're
Hey
growing.
man, we out here working, bruh. Look at
We
this.
work together. We're growing. We're working on it. We are
Out
working
here
on it.
working.
All right.
Oh man, but that album to me, aged like fine wine through this first year. I'm sure it's going to continue to do that for me. I'm a big fan of Pale J. Um, I love what he does. I love his production. I love just his approach, his voice to me. I just like the whole setup. It's a big vibe for me, and definitely something I go back to when I'm working in the office, chilling, just trying to focus. It's that kind of music for me. So, obviously different vibes for different things, but
Mhm.
they want to put on there for sure. And I mean, I feel like I'm drawing blanks when it comes to the rest of it. Really, I'm sure I'm missing some stuff.
Man, prisoner of the
Sure,
moment, man.
I'm sure. Obviously, I don't have to mention Dochi. Like that's already on there. I hope people
Yeah,
know that.
we're gonna do our awards, and
You know?
we're gonna do the actual. We're gonna so very Grammy like we're gonna release the nominees for the
Yeah,
Odyssey albums of the year situation. We don't need to pick the obvious ones, right? Like Dochi,
yeah, man.
Homophonia. Like, come on, like
Yeah, like
those
those are
things.
on there. So I
Yeah,
mentioned, but like they're already there.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I was hoping to get something. I was hoping you weren't such a recency bias person, man.
Bro, you bringing it on the spot to me, and I can't remember everything. I'm gonna put Vince on there. Like, as we're talking about it, I find out more and more and more. I'm trying to find my playlist. It's got all my music for this year. you know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to, I'm trying to just like get it all together, dude. But it's like,
All
yo,
right. So the reason I asked you this question is actually because I went through this exercise a couple days
wow,
ago.
you set me up for failure, bro.
I did that on purpose. Me and the homie quartermaster were on the phone, and we were just talking, and I was like, we were talking about it because we were talking about the Grammys, and
Mhm.
he was very upset. We were having a conversation about Metro not being producer of the year, even though he produced, you know, two albums that were number
Mhm.
one albums for however long they were number one,
Yeah.
and why Mustard should get it off of, Not Like Us, and then the only other thing that he dropped is that was out is Faith of a Mustard Seed, which I enjoyed.
Right. Right.
um and I was, of course, a lot of discourse around this is, how uh the only argument that I feel makes sense is he produced like that. We Don't Trust You, I know, is a heavily liked album. I thought it was cool. It was good, but I'm not like shit album of the year like everyone else. I'm not on that.
Mm.
But it was good, and if it wins song of the year or whatever it's nominated for, like I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and we were trying to have a conversation about, like, are we just like mad about this because Mustard is nominated? Like, if Mustard hadn't have been nominated as producer of the year, would we care
Yeah.
that Metro didn't get nominated, or would we just
Mm.
be, are we mad because Mustard did, and we're like, well, if you're gonna do Mustard, you got to do Metro.
I
uh
think I think it depends where and why you're qualifying it. If you're qualifying it, so again, if the point is to qualify Mustard as producer of the year because he produced Not Like Us, then it's kind of like, yeah, I see the comparison to Metro producing Like That, which sets all this off. And then I also think he put out two albums where the production is what carries those albums. I
Production
don't
is
know if the
really good.
performances fully carry the album. Um,
Except for
it's
like,
what we talk about Metro all the time. It's like we're like, do you like Future or do you like Metro Boomin's production?
everybody likes Metro.
And that's really what it is. And you like the sound and the vibe, and that's all coming from the production, the producer. So in that sense, I understand having put out two albums that did extremely well, um, served pretty much the soundscape for what the late spring and early summer up until, or sorry, mid and late spring of the year. Pretty much just was conquered by Metro. It was just like there's no way to escape Metro right now. It's all Metro. Um, so, you know, I think for me, and it's closer. It's a closer battle because I do think that the Faith of a Mustard Seed album grew on me more comparatively. I think I go back to it more than I do either one of Metro's.
Mhm.
Besides, obviously, for Like That and a few other songs, I like the Rick Ross song on there. I like the there's a few of them I like on there. The weekend song on the other one. Uh, yeah, like I like some of the songs on there. But again, it's like I could see why people would be like, "Oh, we're not giving Metro enough credit for the year that he's had."
So my rebuttal to the homie,
Hmm.
shout out to Q, um, was Like That was an incredible song, kicked off the beat. I actually kind of feel like it is like probably one of the best verses that came out of that was Kendrick's Like That verse.
Yeah,
Because I'm like, you fucking smoked the shit out of that verse. but Not Like Us transcended the beef. Like
Mm-hmm.
Republicans are playing that shit now, right? Like that. It's a global song. You can go to fucking Macau right now. Like Drake
Yeah.
can't, but you can go to Macau right now,
Yeah.
or back, especially back when it was hot, and they would be playing that. You could go to Malaysia. You could go to fucking Italy. You could go anywhere, and everybody was playing that fucking song,
Right.
right? So that was my only rebuttal to it. I don't have anything against any arguments for Metro. Why not Metro and why Mustard? Well, because he
Right.
produced a global smash, while
Right.
Like That is just a national smash.
Well, I guess it's the
Uh,
what's the metric they were considering them for, and it's like that's the moment of the year. But does that also mean that because it's the moment of the year, that makes you the producer of the year because you
I
produced
think
the best
for
song
rap,
that year?
I think
I
for
think it's
rap,
a big thing. I just don't know if it's like the totality.
I think for rap, yes, because rap is not a genre that this gets included, like that gets included for producer of the year. Um there's a lot of like producers of the year, I think
Yeah.
that don't get the credit they deserve in
Hmm.
various genres. We're talking about worldwide, we're talking about
Oh, for sure.
reggaeton, we're talking about rap or
Yeah.
R&B. There's a lot of producers that don't get shine as producer of the year. It's typically like
Hmm.
classical shit, or it's typically like Pharrell produced Happy. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of shit that gets it.
Right.
And so rap doesn't get like it doesn't get nearly as much shine as it deserves. And
Hmm.
because of that, and good or bad, I'm not saying that this is a good thing. Because
Hmm.
of that, you have to produce the moment, right? Like in order for a rap
Yeah.
producer to be
Yeah.
considered producer of the year. Like I'm not saying that's the right thing. It's not.
Yeah.
And so that was my only argument for Mustard against Metro. They both should be in. Like you could outside of Mustard, I have no idea who the fuck else is on that list or why he can't be included along with the rest of the motherfuckers. Right? Like I have no argument against that, but
Right.
it's because we don't get to pick in the Grammys. Um, it feels like if you are a hip hop or a rap producer, you have to produce the moment in order to get this consideration.
I
And
guess that's what we would
like that
assume.
wasn't
Yeah. Right.
so. But I went there to say that I've done this exercise of top a little bit of this exercise, the top albums. Obviously, Blue Lips is there.
Yeah.
Um, and we're doing not genre specific. So Sir is
Yeah.
there. Um, 1111 technically came out last year, but 1111 Deluxe came out this year, and that motherfucker was a slapper. So I shouldn't use that.
Uh
That was
oh.
a really good album. Sorry, ladies, that's on me. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take responsibility for that one.
Oh.
1111 was an excellent album. Really enjoyed that. There was this EP that came out from Mez that was really good. I think that was super slept on. There was also an EP that came out from this Afro beats kind of worldwide sound, J5 and Low J, that nobody
Mm.
cared about. We're not going to talk about the accumulation of Kendrick EP that was. We all know that. We all know that came out. Um, like you mentioned, Vince had come
Vince.
out um, this year. No Worries came out this year.
I'm gonna throw Kate Trinata in there too. Just as you're saying that, I'm
Yeah,
remembering things.
yeah. Kate Renata, I still haven't gone back to that album, but I could understand people really enjoying that. Casablanco came out. Like that is as far as I'm concerned, nobody talks about that album as much as they fucking should.
That was a great album.
Even though he was on his bitch assness, Samurai came out this year. Not everybody's on board, especially after her doc came out. But Megan the Stallion, someone we talk about because this is a music podcast, came out this year. Really like that project. You mentioned your boy Childish Gambino,
Hmm.
and we're just talking about. I'm just running through top like stuff that I kind of like. Was like, oh, this is top stuff. For
Yeah.
me, obviously, I've been saying Party all year, so I'm gonna
Right.
throw Party on my top list.
Hmm.
Um, I want to throw Lotto, but I don't know that I like Lotto enough to put her in the top based on what's been releasing. She might be like on the cusp.
Hmm.
She might be on the cusp.
You can
Album
put her
that
in there though.
yeah, I'm gonna put her in there, but she might after I like refine this list of rap albums, she might
Yeah,
not. Um, especially because Rhapsody also came out this year.
yeah.
David James and Passport Rap Nonfiction. I think that was super slept on as a New York album because it just wasn't like out there.
Hmm.
Project that I actually really liked that I that actually kind of surprised me that I liked because again, like I have to be in the mode for that was the Rome Streets and Derringer project. Like I actually
Yeah,
really enjoyed that shit.
yeah,
And we're getting to the end of the year here, so you know what I mean. There's a lot that I really wanted Rauw to be in there. I really wanted Rauw to be in the top albums. I was like, oh, come on, man, we're gonna do this. You're gonna make my top. You're gonna make my top 10, brother. And
oh, uh.
he was like, no, thank you. I don't want. I
Yeah,
don't want to
I don't
do.
want to be in the
I don't
top
want to be in
10.
the top 10 of your shit.
Oh,
But yeah,
oh.
so that I scrambled. I scrambled drilled that because I was like I said had kind of quasi performed this exercise. That's why I asked you because there's a lot of music out there. Chloe,
So
I
much
met
music.
Chloe, forgot my Chloe.
Yeah, don't forget Chloe.
That
'Cause
shit, that shit,
that shit was amazing.
fucking banger. 070 Shake has just dropped something. It's in my list, and I have to
Okay.
get back to it. Shay Noir, The Lotus Child. I think we got to get back out here to pubbing like not just the futures and the little babies and the young thugs and
Yeah.
everybody that gets a lot of motion. Like
Hmm.
there's a lot of good rap that came out. There's a lot of good R&B that came out. There's some electronic that came out this year.
Hmm.
And I think we got to get back to, you know, we got to get back to giving everybody a space platform,
Yeah.
not just Tremaine. So we still don't trust you came out. Good stuff. Good stuff this year. Like you said, the production quality was excellent.
Yeah.
Whatever to some of those songs. I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
And we still don't trust you. I'll never get on board with R&B Future. I don't give a fuck what none of you niggas say. There is nothing that makes me want to hear Future fucking auto tune whine into a mic. That is the worst cacophonous thing I could ever hear.
He's not
Production wise, not bad.
he's not crooning. He's not crooning on there.
Niggas say crooning. I don't think they know what crooning mean when the Future starts to. Um, I'm just like you guys. I don't know what people are hearing because I'm like this is like between the auto tune, he can't actually carry a note,
Hmm.
which is why he needs the auto tune. And I'm just like, why are we doing this? So we still don't trust you. I don't enjoy R&B Future. I barely got through We Don't Trust You because I don't enjoy Future that much anyway. But
Yeah.
it was a feature heavy album, which I think saved it for me. And yeah, like that's kind of where I'm at.
Hmm.
That's kind of
Okay.
where I said a lot. I said a lot right there. My bad.
Yes. Hey, and still more to go too. I'm sure we're gonna do the exercise throughout the week. Probably have an update next episode.
Next week.
Yep.
Next week. I need your nominees for 3 categories.
Nominees.
We're gonna do a little Grammy shit. We're gonna do a little Grammy shit for you next week.
All right. All
All right.
right.
Nominees.
All right.
Um Album of the year. This is sans genre.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Just
overall album of the year. So I gotta
overall
consider
album of
everything.
the year.
That's
Consider
tough.
everything,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Um Rap album of the year.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm lukewarm on if we should like just really like get a little um highbrow on these niggas and do rap album of the year and then do hip hop album of the year.
I think we should definitely do that because
All right,
they're two different things, and I think we established that this year. Really like went in depth about what that means, and then
all
I
right,
think we have to follow the rules. That's what it is.
all right, cool. So we're doing overall album of the year, we're doing rap album, we're doing hip hop album of the year, we're gonna do R&B album of the year.
Okay. R and
Okay.
B.
And then if there's any other genre that you would like to do, we'll throw those nominees out.
All right. All right. We're gonna do what else? What else should we do? We have to think about this a little bit. We're gonna do like a best new artist.
We could
Yeah,
do a
like
best new
I
artist.
think we
Best.
should definitely do something like that if we're talking about giving some people some shine,
All right, man.
right? And that'll be best new to us, I guess, right? Because we're
Uh,
not going to say that they're new, right? They might be have been around for a little while, but
Best new
uh,
artist to us.
to us, right?
Nah, okay, so I like that.
Just your David James mention, just I think makes that have to be something we need to
Project
do,
was incredible. I still
right?
that was a good one.
And I think there's a few other people like that I'd want to put on there. Uh, so we could do that.
All right,
Um, yeah, man, we have to make this. So next week we're releasing,
the
I think,
nominees.
the nominees and the categories that we have,
Yes,
right? And so we
and
should probably do a poll too or something
I
to
was just you took it right out of my mouth. Pause.
yeah
I think we should definitely um a in the chat if there's stuff that we haven't talked about that you think we need to consider. I'm happy
yeah
to consider it. Let us know.
yeah.
Let us know for the categories. And the categories are, just in case you weren't listening, album of the year, overall album of the year. If there's some
Hmm.
pop shit you think we might enjoy, throw that in.
Sabrina Carpenter needs to be on there. Just let it be
Uh,
known. I don't know.
yeah, I have no idea. I've never listened to it, but give me a good reason to, and I'll think about it.
Hmm.
Rap album of the year, hip hop album of the year. If you don't know the difference, just do the rap album of the year. And R&B album of the year, and
Okay.
then best new artist to us.
Okay. All right. Are we doing a song of the year? Are we just unanimously giving?
Ooh, that's spicy.
Are we
Let's do
unanimously
song of the
giving it
year.
something?
Song of the
Song of the
year.
year?
Okay, song of the year. All
The
right.
overall song of the year.
Everybody knows what the song of the year is. I kind of don't want to do that
Yeah, it's
unless
gonna.
we're gonna not use not like us. Then I'm okay with doing that.
Okay, well, we should set some parameters then. So we should say whether or not we're going to. It seems like we want to have these nominees and everything be maybe something outside of what is kind of just obviously it's been Kendrick's year, so we're kind of taking that out of consideration,
I mean, the
right?
project, like I don't want to say it's not going to be like popular because like I'm sure Soul Burger is going to be a nominee. I'm sure
Yeah,
Copia will be a nominee.
yeah,
Obviously, Blue Lips is going to win Hip Hop Album of the Year
yeah,
because the Grammys snubbed it. But no, all jokes aside, I, like we know that's the song of the year. Like,
yeah,
and if you're denying it, it's because you're a Drake fan, and that's okay. You can deny
yeah,
it. But it was statistically,
yeah,
it was monetarily,
yeah.
it was culturally the song of the year.
Right.
So you cannot deny any of that stuff. And if you are denying it, more power to you. Keep on denying it. I have no
Yeah.
desire to convince you. So let's take that out if we're going to do something.
Okay. All right, fine. Then let's do that. Let's do that. I think that'll be a good parameter for us. It'll give us some spicy takes that we'll be able to go through together. So I like that. I like that.
All right, for sure.
All
So
right.
next week, y'all, Odyssey
Let's go.
nominees, the
Uh
Odyssey
oh.
Awards.
Gonna have to get a
Yes,
suit.
we got.
Have to get a new suit.
Yeah, exactly. Let me go. Let me call. Let me see. Let me see what Macy's got going on. 'Cause I'm on a budget.
I got 0 losses and 10 wins. Real niggas fuck with them, but got no best friends. I had to teach my skater bitch how to ride dick.